This is how a high fashion look comes to life. The pattern is handmade, panels cut out delicately, then carefully stitched together. But what makes this runway piece really special is that it's for women size 14 and up.
I wanted to disrupt the status quo, putting it clear as day on the runway. I wanted to show that every size literally can be sample size.
Last year ushered in the most inclusive fashion weeks to date. From a wider range of body sizes to age, as well as gender to racial diversity. It's a win for those historically ignored by the industry. But the truth is, there's still a long way to go. And those who choose to embrace inclusivity are thriving. Proving that inclusivity isn't a passing trend, it's inevitable. We're in the US capital of fashion, New York City, to find out why. I'm Mark Bain. This is Quartz. Kellie Brown is a fashion influencer and blogger. She says companies haven't been thinking about plus-size women like her.
I put style before looking 3 pounds smaller. I think that they historically thought that we are trying to hide. They're usually dressing from a negative space, meaning they're thinking about what you want to minimize.
Kellie says women of all sizes want the same styles afforded to smaller bodies. For years, the latest trends were privileged to the straight body consumers, meaning sizes 0 to 12. This left plus-size shoppers to dig through shades of shapeless beige in a section relegated to the far corners of a shop or the internet. Women over size 14 are estimated to make up 68% of the US population. But only 0.1% of the luxury market and 2.5% of what's sold by the largest multi-brand retailers are comprised of plus sizes. This is also a global reality. Not one plus-size model walked the London or Milan Fashion Weeks for fall 2018. And only last year did the Middle East get its first plus-size model. Carla Busasi forecasts global trends in the fashion industry.
I think if you look back, actually not that long ago, you had these highly influential creative directors who sat in their lovely ivory tower and they envisaged an amazing product, whether that was a shoe or a dress, and then consumers came and bought it.
In the past, consumers outside the norm were never considered. Few brands in the plus-size space have the same name recognition as the company where we're standing right now, and that's Eloquii. We're in their Long Island City warehouse, where they're busy keeping up with all the trends and an online customer base that's really eager to adopt them. Mariah Chase is the CEO of Eloquii.
Really fashion-forward customers said, oh my God, I have actually never had access to this type of clothing before, and now I feel like I can, via my clothing, express who I want to be.
Why do you think so many brands have dragged their feet in, expanding their size range to serve all these customers?
It wasn't that this customer was considered, and then designers were like, no, we're not going to do anything for her. It was that she wasn't considered. There was stigma attached to it.
Since 2015, the company's revenue growth has tripled. A lot of their success comes from the fact that they came of age alongside the internet and social media.
The power shift has totally changed now, and now it's about the consumer envisaging what they want, and the most successful brands are answering that need from the consumer.
And this isn't just about empowered consumers enabling choice. It's about holding a brand's core values, its ethos, to a higher standard. Kellie started the hashtag #FatAtFashionWeek to call out the fashion industry on failing to serve the needs of plus-sized women, and other women started using it.
It started popping up at Fashion Week in London and in Paris. So people, they thought it was cool, and they thought it was a really cool way to go to this hashtag, see what women were doing, and that we do exist in this industry, and looking good while doing it.
And research shows that brand ethos is becoming just as important for the bottom line as product quality. Look at the example of Victoria's Secret. They've lost their near monopoly on the lingerie industry. It hasn't helped that an exec recently made transphobic and fatphobic comments. Sales have plummeted, and the runway show views have reached an all-time low. The next step for a lot of these size-inclusive brands is to convert mainstream retailers.
The size 6 woman does not have better taste. She just has better options.
Alex Waldman and Polina Vexler created Universal Standard, a high-quality minimalist brand with sizes from 00 to 40 in store. Not only is Universal Standard providing women of all sizes with a space to shop and check fit, they've taken a revolutionary approach to fit. Most brands only use one fit model, which is an actual human being, usually a size 4 or 6. Designers then use a formula to scale up and down for size. Universal Standard uses 11 fit models to make sure there's integrity in the fit across all 42 of their sizes.
We dubbed it micro-grading. We actually looked between each size set, and we recognized the fact that just because somebody is getting bigger doesn't mean they're getting taller.
Major brands like Goop and J.Crew have approached Universal Standard to learn about inclusive sizing. J.Crew is building out a line sizes 0 to 32.
We hope that other household name brands would see the value in being inclusive.
When it comes down to it, size inclusivity, or any kind of inclusivity, is not just the right thing to do. At the end of the day, it's good for the bottom line. How big an opportunity in terms of dollars are we talking here?
This is hundreds of millions of dollars worth of opportunity.
The plus-size market in the US was estimated to be worth $21 billion in 2016. Companies can't afford to ignore these shoppers, but the truth is, size inclusivity is expensive. Universal Standard employs 10 more fit models than your average brand. More fabric is used and patterns need to be altered.
There's some very real barriers to entry, and doing this well is not that easy.
Carla says ultimately, it comes down to who and what brands value.
There are negative effects, but I think when people get over that, people are thinking very much about the short-term costs. This isn't about a 5-year payback. This isn't about a 10-year payback. This is about payback within a season because the number of people who can buy that product is exponentially greater.
Runways worldwide can't continue displaying a fantasy that reflects a world for the select few, because clearly change is coming, whether brands like it or not.
I hope that it's no longer an issue. Maybe in 5-10 years, it's just not a talking point, and maybe then they can talk about the clothes again.
If you like this video, you might want to check out our series Because China, where we look at how China is reshaping the world. Become a Quartz member and you get access to the whole series, along with field guides, exclusive interviews, and in-depth reporting on forces rewriting our global economy.